Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. I hope y'all are feeling good, feeling great. I hope it's warming up in the good type of warmy weather type of way where you're living. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation that happened recently in more down like in the southern region of Florida. But before we get into it though, I kind of wanted to give y'all something to think about. Some of y'all that are mothers out there, maybe, you spend a lot of your time nurturing your relationship with your children, whether they're young or whether they're adults, and you probably feel like you know where you stand or about where you stand with the people that are in your family. That is what makes this situation so puzzling. Before we get into it, though, I did want to let you guys know, if you don't already know, hi, my name is Christina. I do have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. We just do things way more casually over there. I also have a Patreon. My Patreon is for 18 and up, and over there we just talk about more personal stuff. We go live over there. I have a $2 tier over on my Patreon where all of the true crime stuff that cannot go onto YouTube due to their terms and policies, that goes over on my Patreon under the $2 tier, but make sure you read the About section and what each tier offers before you join. I also am on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm on Like to Know It. And Like to Know It is where you can find links to different things, products that I use, hair products, skin products, clothing items, workout stuff like that that you guys asked me about and that are my favorites. I link them over on my Like to Know It. All of those platforms are linked down in the description box if you would like to come and check me out. So let's talk about Emmanuel Espinoza. Emmanuel Espinoza, and he is known by Manny, by his friends and family and people that he went to school with, is 21 years old, and he has currently been in his 4th year of pre-med as a student at the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, where he was studying to be a doctor. Now, in high school, Manny had a GPA of a 4.5, and he ended up being his class's valedictorian, and he was described by everybody that knew him as basically being a genius.
Welcome the valedictorian of the class of 2020, Emmanuel Espinosa. Good evening. First, I want to thank the teachers and staff at Frostproof High School for making high school an experience we will never forget. And Miss Bird, our superintendent, along with the school board, for making this graduation possible. Most notably, I want to thank God, my brother, my sister for being the best siblings ever, and my mom and dad for sacrificing so much and for being the perfect role models. For the supporters at home and in the crowd, I know you have pushed every single one of these graduates to strive for excellence and persevere through the toughest of challenges. 4 years ago, we were thrusted into high school, excited for the opportunity to finally attend homecoming and manage high school responsibilities. Little did we know, high school would be filled with exhausting amounts of homework and late nights that we will never thought we would survive. Charles Dickens' famous opening line of his novel, A Tale of Two Cities, states, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times," which is a true description to what high school was like for all of us. Through the tough times and the good times, through the friendships lost and the friendships made, through the opportunities taken and opportunities missed out this year, we are still here today, graduating. High school was just one of the chapters out of the many we will have throughout our lives. We still have so much to accomplish in the future that will define what kind of legacy the class of 2020 will leave behind. I congratulate myself and all of my classmates. I wish you all the very best.
People and classmates that know Manny say that he's absolutely brilliant. He was an introvert. He wasn't like super outgoing, but he was always kind when he talked to people and again, just very, very smart. Manny has 2 other siblings, him being the youngest, and all 3 of them were described as remarkable. I mean, All three of them have their own talents in their own right. And in this photo, Manny is second from the left. So this weekend that we're going to be talking about, Manny was actually heading to this family event that was being held for his grandfather when his mother, 46-year-old Elvia, asked him if he wanted to come and stay with her and spend some time with her at her house for the weekend. See, she called him and she was actually going to come and visit him in Gainesville, Florida, where he was going to school at. But this is when he said, well, Mom, I'm coming up there anyways. And she said, well, come stay with me. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. And he agreed. She lived about 2 hours south of Orlando in Frostproof, Florida. Elvia, Manny's mother, was a second grade teacher, and her friends and family say that she was so full of life and she was loved by her family. She was loved by all of her friends, and she was especially loved by her grandchildren. They say Elvia was a light in everyone's life, and she was definitely a light in her students' lives. And I saw all kind of comments online where people say that Elvia taught their children whenever they were in kindergarten or third grade, and that she was so patient and made such a difference in her students' lives. When she was teaching, she moved around different schools, so she would always be at a school that her own little ones went to, and so she could be close to them and be involved in their lives. She was literally described as the perfect mother. Elvia, again 46 at this time, was super excited to be able to spend the weekend with her youngest son. However, she had no idea that this weekend would end in complete tragedy. At around 2 p.m. on April 6th of this year, 2024, Manny is seen on his mother's Ring doorbell camera walking up to her front door. As Manny is walking up to the front door, he can be seen holding something behind his back in his left hand, and it is later known to be a knife.
And he then showed up at the front door. Now we got a video clip of a Ring camera, and you can see the knife as he approaches the front door. Notice behind his back, there's the knife. He tried to open the door, and the door was locked, so he knocked on the door, and his beautiful mother was so excited to see her son, she opened the door. The second she opened the door, he charged in and started stabbing her.
At some point when she fell on the floor, Manny would later say that he noticed that his mother's hands were still moving, so he went over there and did it again a few more times. It would later be found out that Manny ended up stabbing his mother over 70 times in total. And after he was finished, he realized that he had actually cut his own hand in the process. So he goes over to the sink and he's washing his hand when he realizes that he needs some Neosporin. When he realized this, in his mind, he thought, oh, I need to ask Mom to get me some Neosporin. When he turned around and realized, oh yeah, Mom's gone. Like, that's how close he was with her, that when he had a cut on his hand from what he just did, his thought was, Mommy, can you get me some Neosporin? But his mother was already gone at this point. This is when Manny would call 911 to confess what he had just done.
Hello? Hello? Yes, tell me exactly what happened. I told someone. Okay, I've got help on the way. Stay on the line. What? Stay on the line with me, okay? I've got help on the way for you, okay? Okay, sir. Okay, I want you, yes, sir, I want you to take everything out of your pockets, and I want you to keep your hands out of your pockets, okay? Yes, sir. Okay, how did this happen? I opened the door and I stabbed my mom.
He said he stabbed his mom.
The police showed up and Manny was charged with first-degree murder, and he was booked in the Polk County Jail. Something interesting that Sheriff Grady Judd brought up is that when Manny pulled up to the house and he got out, he had headphones in and he was listening to a song by Jay-Z and Kanye West that is named No Church in the Wild in his AirPods as he was walking up to the door. You could hear it playing. Now, I went and listened to this song. By the way, the song came out like 11 plus years ago. And just to know that he was listening to these beats and these radio frequency waves as he pulled up to his mother's house and walked up to the door, and she was all excited on the phone with her family member to open the door and have her youngest son, who she is so proud of, do what he did to her, is very disturbing on top of everything else that's disturbing. Now, when they got Manny down to the police station, of course, they began to question him. They want to know why you did this. What happened? Did your mother do something to you? Is there some underlying thing that went on that nobody knows about? However, Manny said that he loved his mother very much, but that he had actually been thinking or fantasizing or dreaming of doing this for a few years now, and that he decided that today was the day. She called him and asked him to come and spend the weekend, and he thought, I have been thinking about this, and today I'm going to finally do it.
He said that he had just been angry or not liked his mother for years and years. When we said, do you love her? He said, oh yeah, I love her. Do y'all get along? Yeah, 8 out of 10 we get along. But I've wanted to kill her for years, and I made up my mind as I drove from Gainesville, today is the day. We asked him, are you on any drugs or alcohol? No. He said, I've wanted to do this for some time, but I didn't have the nerve to do it. So I just made up my mind that today was the day. And it was. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else to say about this. It is one of the most bizarre murders that we've dealt with in a very long time.
This is a woman who believes that she is very close with all 3 of her children, but yes, even her baby boy, who is valedictorian, graduates with a 4.5. He's in his 3rd year of pre-med, and Manny even told the police that money wasn't an issue because anytime he needed money at college, she would send it to him because she wanted him to have the full college experience and be able to go out and have fun. There was no history of substance issues, alcohol issues, physical issues. The cops had never been called to Manny by her or anybody else. And according to Manny and digging into the family history, there was no mental issues within anybody in the family. And I say mental issues like this because I think that if you are fantasizing about doing this to your perfect mother for all of these years, something's wrong. Something's wrong with you. And they're asking him, does she do anything to aggravate you? Whatever. And he goes, well, yeah, she would aggravate me because she would ask herself questions out loud and then she would answer those questions out loud. But she's done that for years. But yeah, that aggravated me. So basically, when a person goes, oh, did I lay that out of the refrigerator? Oh, yeah, I think I did. Oh, wait a minute. Did I turn off my curling iron? Yeah, I think I did. I mean, literally, you guys, I do that all day long. My son is like, what, Mom? I'm like, I'm talking to myself. That's what she did that aggravated him so much. But he acted like she had been doing it for years, and that wasn't necessarily the reason. The only reason that he has given the police at this point was that he had been thinking about it for years, and today was the day. And as a matter of fact, he ended up telling the police that because of a biology class that he took, he knew exactly where to, we'll say, insert the instrument in order to end her life.
That he knew where to stab her for maximum effect because of his biology classes. We have another audio that we're not going to play from the inside of the house where she's screaming, Manny, 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 and he's not saying one word.
In a tribute for her, the school said this about Elvia. Her students and colleagues greatly loved her, and her sudden, unexpected death is a devastating loss. She was a very special part of her school family. I looked around online and found her other 2 children's Facebook pages, and her daughter had posted some stuff and, stating her very beautiful mother, and it just is so sad, but also so bizarre. Like, usually when we do these types of cases, we try to see what happened, where someone went wrong. And in this case, it seems like she did everything right. How was she going to know that he was going to do this? And why did he do it? And what was that thing inside of him? There were no signs that we know of. Sometimes parents see signs, and I'm not saying her, but sometimes parents see signs and they excuse them away. But in this case, from everything that we have found out, there were no signs. And how devastating, too, for her other 2 children and her grandchildren, and again, all of her students.
And when you see that he left a family behind that loved him, a mom that just worshiped her children, and at this very moment, she should have been in Ben Hill Griffin Elementary creating a future and educating our second graders. It is incomprehensible as to what happened that day.
I do hope that something comes out about this, but I guess at the end of the day, the why doesn't really necessarily matter because the why does not bring her back. And this is not one of those cases where we can, as parents, say, okay, we need to look out for these red flags. She opened the door so excitedly, seeing him pulling up and walking up to the door, ready to welcome him with open arms, probably cook all of his favorite meals for the weekend and spend time with him. And she had no idea. Have y'all heard about this? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Other than that, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.